Here is the coupon code to be used on Amazon, at least in the US, I'm not totally sure. It's for 10% off and it runs today through March 2nd. There. Despite my better judgment, I put it at the very beginning of the video, not at the end, and I didn't hide it somewhere in the middle. If you already decided that you were gonna buy one of these little f***ers, then you can go do so. At least use my affiliate link in the description. That would be awesome. But I would love for you to stay and watch the video. Please. Today, I am finally taking a look at what I called one of my top 5 Matter devices that you should have in your house right now. This is the only sensor you need.
I'm Patrick Hunt, and I want you to like smart home tech as much as I do. Real solutions with Matter, Apple Home, and a little creativity. Weekly, I'll show you how small upgrades can make a big difference. Welcome.
Obviously, it's not the only sensor that you need. Come on. It's not a contact sensor, a water leak sensor, a vibration sensor, an air quality sensor, but I've largely named all of the sensors that it's not. I've split this video up into 3 main chapters. I'm new here, what the hell is this? I'm on the fence, and I'm sold. You know, everyone who's already left the video. I hope to bring some valuable information to all of you because I've been using this thing for months now. So you stumbled on this video, saw a good deal, and wondered if you were missing out. The Aqara FP300 is a small, battery-powered 5-in-1 smart home sensor. It's largely known for its presence sensing though. It's also a PIR motion sensor, an ambient light sensor, temperature, and finally, humidity. PIR and light are often found together. Temperature and humidity are also often found together in their own devices. This one's a monster with them all together, but it's not a monster in terms of form factor. It's actually really small. A millimeter wave presence sensor detects when a person is present, even when completely still, and leaves. This one in particular is battery powered and can be set up with no proprietary hub given that it can be used via Matter over Thread. For Apple Home users, if you have an Apple TV 4K with Ethernet or a HomePod or a HomePod Mini, then this device is essentially plug and play. Just scan the QR code, pop it into Apple Home, and have it turn the lights on with presence and turn them off with absence, or whatever you want. As I mentioned, I put this at number 4 on my top 5 Matter devices because smart homes run on data input. And this one device provides so much information to power automations. So you've heard of a dozen presence sensors coming to the market recently, and you're on the fence. There are some differences. This one doesn't support zones like the Maris sensor does, but it does have temperature and humidity. It's Thread or Zigbee, unlike the SwitchBot presence sensor, which is Bluetooth and requires their hub. It's similar to the Lefair LWR01, but much smaller and again, more sensors. It's battery powered, unlike the very celebrated FP2 and soon the FP400. But maybe you were unsure about its performance. Light, temperature, and humidity were always accurate. Full stop, not even points of discussion. So let's talk about motion and presence. The PIR sensor directly impacts how fast presence is detected, and that millimeter wave sensor is for how long presence is held. I ran tests, which when I started making this video were just supposed to be a couple of weeks, but are now over 3 months. My first test was in my office. I put the sensor up and sat at my desk and worked. I turned on notifications for when presence was detected, and I set up an automation to send me a notification every time presence was not detected. I did this for over a week in here, and it was extremely uneventful. I got a notification when it saw me coming, and then another notification about 10 seconds after leaving the room. It never lost presence as I sat at my desk, even when I was there for hours at a time and barely moving. An office is too easy. What about a bathroom where there's a bunch of reflections that can cause interference? I set it up above the door frame, and once again, nothing but a perfect score. The last room was the real test, and I put it here as a suggestion from a Reddit user. The kitchen, often a bigger room with a lot going on. And I didn't just have it send my phone notifications. I had it turn the kitchen lights on with presence and off with absence with absolutely no additional delay built in. Lisa was completely at the mercy of the sensor. For the sensor distance, incredibly, it triggered right at the doorway to the kitchen and the transition to the family room. So basically perfect coverage for the whole kitchen. mostly. The upper cabinets created blind spots, so if somebody was snacking in the corner of the kitchen, the lights would turn off. But that's just science or whatever. The only complaint I got in 2 weeks of having it here, outside of the snacking incident, was that the lights turned off too quickly when coming and going from the kitchen. Of course, high traffic areas should have some delay built in, but I was testing the limits. You should build better automations. The sensor triggered quick and it stayed triggered. So where does the sensor live now? It stays above the headboard in our bedroom and another one above Connor's crib in the nursery. Presence sensors generally have a hard time with small children, but this one has been able to hold Connor's presence like 99.9% of the time throughout the night, which was not something I was able to achieve with at least one other presence sensor. All of this while operating the sensor strictly in Apple Home via Matter over Thread, which brings me to the 4 of you who are still here, have already decided you want to buy this thing and just want to learn more. As you know, this sensor is dual protocol, Matter over Thread and Zigbee via hub. For simplicity's sake, I wanted to experience this sensor entirely in Apple Home as a Matter device. Right out of the box, the settings were ideal for every room that I put it in. During setup, you have the decision to make, Thread or Zigbee, and there are some good reasons for each. I operate largely in Apple Home. My Thread network is extremely robust, and I love the simplicity of Matter and Thread, so I chose that first. If you decide to go this route as an Apple Home user, I recommend pairing the device first in Apple Home, and then if you have an Aqara hub as well, turn on pairing mode and bring it into Aqara as a Matter device. It'll show you which Thread network your device is on as well. You won't have even half the settings you get via Zigbee, which I'll get to, but you get a couple. Sensitivity and absence delay timer. You can see the default was medium and 10 seconds, which aligns with what I was experiencing. I changed the sensitivity to high for that nursery sensor, and I get almost no false negatives. And I think this setup will be absolutely fine for most users. There are benefits to Zigbee as well. I can turn off light detection or temperature and humidity if I want to just prioritize presence detection. This will extend the battery life pretty significantly, and similarly, I can do that with PIR versus millimeter wave as well. If you're planning on adding the recently announced Aqara W200 thermostat to your home, the FP300 as a Zigbee device can be used as the primary temperature sensor. Whether Zigbee or Thread, either way, it can end up in Apple Home and you can do all the same stuff there. This isn't a sponsored video, and this is where I'm supposed to say all the stuff that I don't like about it. I really don't love doing anything in the Aqara app, so I actually prefer it as a Matter device in Apple Home and building my automations in Homey. Also, Aqara doesn't allow you to change your Zigbee channel. When I was noticing issues with some of my Hue bulbs and some of my Thread devices, I changed the Zigbee channel on my Hue bridge off of 25, and magically everything started working again flawlessly. This thing isn't in my top 5 for nothing. I really don't have much negative feedback here. It's definitely helping to reduce the number of little white devices on my walls, and for me, that's the name of the game. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next week.